All right, good evening, everybody. James here, and I was asked by a few members to go ahead and make a video that would touch on everything that I have here for my screen setup, meaning my intraday chart, my long-term chart, and my watch list. So I thought I'd make a video and send out an email that touches on everything, so hopefully that everyone will have it to help with the questions that are being asked. Just a little repetitive, so we want to try to help everybody out here. So by now, obviously you were watching this because you got an email that contained some sort of information like this, and basically what it is it's going to contain some TOS links for the flex grid, right? It's going to have an intraday squeeze charting. It's going to have a longer term, and then it's also going to have 5 scans that I use for this, which would be, Nate Bear's FinViz scan that I converted into TOS, and then also I have 2 daily squeezes, one for trending up and down, and I have 2 5-minute squeeze ones trending up and down. You will also have a code for the watch list over here that you see on my left. Okay, so first, what you see here is what I call my intraday squeeze setup for anything that I am trading intraday. This is kind of the chart that I would base everything off of. I got a 5-minute, which is typically the lowest chart that I would use, a 10, which is what I rotate in between different time frames on, 15 that I leave on, and a daily that I leave on, and it just holds the TTM squeeze. Okay, I have ATR on all time frames, so I can get an average true range idea, as well as VWAP on just intraday, and the 8 and 21 EMAs, excuse me, not regular, EMAs. Okay, my longer term one is what I call kind of like the swing trade grid here, and this one contains the daily, the weekly, a 195, a 78-minute, and a 39-minute chart. And these are what I look at for longer term, and there's some information you do not see, and that information would be seen if you maximize the cells. Okay, now you can see all the other indicators that I have. So what I have starting from top to bottom here is I have a TTM scalper alert, and that is going to be the bigger arrows that you see on here. Right here you got some big arrows. I don't see any to the downside. It looks like one right here. And what they are is they're actually delayed because it requires 3 bars in the other direction before it pops it up. So this is a kind of a delayed confirmation indicator that I use, meaning so if you see a red big arrow it's going to be meaning that the trend has went down. Likewise, you see a big green arrow, means the trend is starting up. I also have the TTM trend, which changes the colors of my bars. If it's an upward trend, it's blue. A downward trend, it is red. Okay. I then have some moving average crossovers. The smaller arrows are those. So you could see this green one here, this green one here, this one here, this red one here. What that means is if the momentum falls or goes above 0, it throws up an indicator. It's a little bit more as it happens type indicator, so it's not too delayed. So I look at that as well to give me a general idea which way the momentum is going. Okay, then I have a whole moving average on the 20, and that's this single line that you see here. It's green if the trend is up, yellow if the trend is down. So I kind of use that to kind of help out. Okay, if it's been in a downtrend, has it turned green, then that's going to be my confirmation to the upside. All right, now my lower indicators that you see here, the first one is just the TTM squeeze. We know how that works based on the earlier chart. I have 3 waves which kind of break down the squeeze a little bit more. You have a short term and then kind of a medium to long term and long term wave here. And these pretty much tell me if it's above 0 or below. So the short term one shown below in this case would mean a short term indication that's possibly squeezing to the downside, whereas these ones are both above 0. The longer term waves show that the actual overall long term direction is to the upside. So I look for these kind of confirmations all to line up to make a longer term trade. Then I have the momentum indicator, which matches the momentum arrows on the actual chart. And then I have ADX, which, if we're in a squeeze and ADX is really low. Typically it fires off fairly quickly. So I just use that. So those are my indicators on the long term. Okay, that's my charts there. Now for the squeezes, how do you get each on here? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and detach this so I can make it. I think I just deleted it. I'm going to bring up a new watch list here, and I'm going to detach it so I can make it a little bit bigger. Okay. And what you're going to do when you have a new watch list that you start, it's probably going to look something like this. I believe this is the default watch list. Symbol, last, net, bid, and ask. What you're going to need to do, the first and foremost thing, is you have to import that code that you saw here, this thinkorswim script. Okay. And you're going to go here to set up open shared items and paste that code in there, hit preview. Okay. And it'll give you the option, and you're going to hit open. Right? And then you want to rename this. And you got to do this depending on how many time frames you want. So as you can see, well, you can't, I have it blocked right now. We have a daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30, 15, 10, and 5. So if you wanted to have all those same squeezes on your chart, you got to do this that many times. So as an example, you would do like squeeze daily, right? And name it something like that and hit OK. Then you got to come in and you got to do it again for each time. So as you see, you paste it in, preview, open, and then you want to rename this to squeeze 4 hour. Okay. And then you do that for all the time frames that you want. Then what you do is you come down here, this little cog on your watch list, you click that and you hit customize. And it brings up your columns. So I don't need the bid and ask. I don't need the net change really, right? You could take those out. Actually, we'll leave net change so you can see what it's doing. So remove those items. Now then you would want to go and find the ones that you just renamed. So we did SQ. So we'll filter it by SQ. And here you go. You got the daily. So you just double click that. And then you got the 4 hour. Double click that one. And you do that for each one that you have. And I can kind of show you here. How I have it, right? I have them labeled S. So if I scroll down, you can see right here, I got S1, 10, 15, 2, 34, 5. These are pretty much the daily, the 5 minute, the 4 hour, the 30 minute, 2 hour, 15 minute, 10 minute, 1 hour. Okay. So you add all those in. Then what you're going to want to do is hit OK, and that's going to bring it up. You're not done yet. You have to right click on here, hit edit formula. And it's going to bring up the script. What you want to do is you got to make sure you're on the right time frame. So you see you edited this formula. So you need to come in here and change it from week to 1 day. Then you hit apply and OK. And now this rechanges. And then you do the same thing for 4 hour. Right click, edit formula. Come in here where it says weekly. You come down, you change it to 4 hours. So now as you can see, these are your choices. So no custom ones. You can't do your 39 minute, your 195. You have to find the closest ones to that. So you can do 4 hour for like the 195, you know, and then 30 minute for your 39 minute. But you only can do what thinkorswim gives you. So here you want to make sure you're back at 4 hour. I do not include extended hour trading sessions. I believe Nate does not either. Okay, just to let you know. Then you hit apply and OK. And now as you can see, these are all in 1 day squeezes. And just to give you an idea, we'll pull up we'll pull up my positions, right? You can see I got 4 hours dailies. And what this means, the green means it's been in a daily squeeze, or it fired 2 bars ago and it fired long. That's what the 2L means. This 5S means that 5 bars ago it fired short. These red ones mean that it's in a squeeze for 1 day or 1 bar. You know, this one here, Coke, has been in a squeeze for 8 bars. There are different colors here, and if you want to really know what they mean, go back to edit formula and read the description here. And it tells you a red background indicates that it's just in a squeeze. So here's your red background, this 11. Okay, it's just in a squeeze for 11 days since this is the daily. All right. If you have a dark red background, it means that it's in a squeeze, and it also falls between your 8 and 21 EMAs, which are these blue and orange bars, or moving averages, excuse me. So by looking at that, you can see here that Kroger has a 1-day squeeze, and it's a dark red. So it is in between the 8 and the 21. Then you have an orange background, which we don't have any on here, but that just tells you that is counter. It's in a squeeze, but counter to the 8 and 21 crossovers. Okay. The green background tells you up to 5 dots when it fired, either long or short. And a background means it's not in a squeeze. Okay. So that is what the colors mean and how you would do it to add each time frame that you want. Be careful though. It cannot hold too many positions with too many custom indicators. You will get an error message if you say you have 100 stocks on your watch list and you went from weekly all the way down to a 1 minute. You'll start getting an error code on half your watch list. So keep it for more of a favorites, only to the indicators that you really need. Okay, so that's it. That's how you input those to get these over here. All right, and now you can be like, well, here's my current positions, or the scan, for instance. You can load up Nate Bear's scan, and it'll tell you all the ones that are in a squeeze. So you can see here on the hour, this fired short 4 hours ago, but it is in a 5-minute squeeze, and it's dark red, so it's in between the 8 and the 21. And if you look here on the 5-minute, it is between the 8 and the 21. All right. So I don't have any. We have one that's orange here on the 10-minute, and that's a funky thing. So that's it, guys. That's how you do it. That's how you import the scans. Oh, I didn't show the scans. I am so sorry. Scans. All right. So you come over here, and we'll bring it back up. Same thing, right? You're gonna go ahead and load Nate Bear's scan in, doing it the same way. Open shared item, paste it in, preview, then hit open, then hit rename, and this would be like Nate Bear's like FinViz scan. And then that is right here. It will look like this if you go to the scan tab and you pull it up to whatever you saved it as. So you go to scan, you come over here to the second one, load, and then it'll be under your personal and whatever you saved it as. In this case, I have it as Nate Bear scan. This will be what pops up. Okay, and it'll tell you every filter that we have. And then you can hit scan. If you saved it, it will show up on your watch list under your personals. So you do that import for the 5 that I have, you're going to get your scans. Now I wanted to touch basis on one, right? I don't touch typically the daily that you see here that are squeezing either down or up. But say you want to play more the 15-minute chart. So when you import maybe the 5-minute scans, you can change that. So say you loaded it up, you found it, you renamed it. Here's your 5-minute trending up. Say, well, I don't like to trade the 5-minute, James. I want to trade the 15-minute only. So once you have it up and renamed, you can come in here and right here, the second custom squeeze alert, change it from 5 to 15, and then come over here and save it and rename it to a 15-minute trending up. Okay, and that's all you got to do. And then you do the same thing, load the one that's trending down, change it to 15. Now you have your 15. So if you really wanted to search by each one, you can do so. But what it looks like really, 5 minutes trending up is going to show you a ton here that are trending up, and you might have some that are on your 15 or your other ones. But intraday, I like to see like either a 5 or a 10. So that's why I have it set at 5. So that's it. Those are my scans. That's how I go through each morning with you guys to pull them up. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I will answer them there and or in chat with you guys live. All right. Thank you.